In an era long past, as monarchies weaken, local feudal lords grew in power. The first knights simply protected their lords' domains. However, with the reforms of the late 11th century, knights became protectors of the peace. They valued courage and honor, fighting heretics and heathens in God's name. In this age, one company of knights was said to be invincible due to two men. Leon Belmont, a courageous man who feared nothing and whose combat abilities were second to none, and Matthias Kronqvist, a genius tactician whose learning made him an exception in a largely illiterate society. They trusted each other completely, and they were bound by an old friendship. However, sorrow awaited Matthias upon his return from a victorious campaign. It was news of the sudden death of his beloved wife, Elisabetta. Matthias's grief was profound, and he became bedridden. A year has passed since then. Thanks to Leon's efforts, their company remains proudly undefeated. However, a mysterious army of monsters suddenly appears in Leon's domain. The Crusades are raging in the east, and since the Church is focusing on fighting heathens rather than monsters, it has forbidden unauthorized battles. Leon wants permission to sortie, but the Church has no intention of granting it. One night, Matthias struggles from his sickbed and tells Leon that the appearance of the monsters is tied to a vampire who has a castle in the forest called Eternal Night, and that Leon's betrothed, Sarah, has been kidnapped and brought to that castle. Leon realizes that he must renounce his title to rescue his beloved. The forest is swollen with darkness, as if it would rob away everything, and only moonlight provides a ray of hope. A great legend is about to begin.
This game has bats?
What does that say? I can't read. Hi, welcome to Castlevania Lament of Innocence.
Laminate?
Lamentation of the Women.
Laminate.
Lamentation
You
of the
remember
Women.
in third grade, did they make you do a bunch of cursive and then gave you like a cursive ID?
No, but
At my school, they made everyone learn cursive, and if you did it well enough, where you could write like a whole essay, they'd take a picture of you and give you this shitty laminated. It was just like a blue card with your face on it, and it says, "I learned cursive," and then your name, and then it was just some shitty laminated piece of paper that was supposed to be like a card.
What?
Why did they try to make us learn cursive so badly?
I learned how to write in cursive with my right hand. Instead of, because we mentioned it before, I'm left-handed.
Yeah, you're
So I'm
disabled.
ambidextrous. Yeah. Essentially. Oh, right. Down, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down.
Larry, include that?
Yeah, please do, Larry.
Name entry.
Let's just go.
Let's just stick with the name.
When the character actually has a name, I like to go with it. If they don't, then
Do they even bring up your customized name?
Sam
Sam Squawk.
Sam Squatch.
Sam Squatch.
We didn't have the mythical creature, the Sam Squatch. I didn't have enough space for the H.
He's just a really hairy dude.
My bad.
He just like nothing special about him. He's not like super tall. He doesn't have like big feet. He's just hairy, and people just make fun of him.
Poor guy.
They just point and laugh.
Jesus Christ, opacity. Fucking brightness of this game. Jesus. He do be running, though.
What just happened? I felt something
You've been hit with cancer, Ray. Harley Quinn, you gave me cancer.
Leave now.
All my fault.
Who's there?
Now, don't get so excited. I'm just an old man.
A very buff old man. Don't
I
be.
just came to gawk at the man crazy enough to come here.
You don't seem like
It was wearing this during the Crusades.
I don't know.
Of course not.
Can we get a fact check on that?
I believe Michael McConaughey voices this guy. Not Leon.
McConaughey?
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey voices him. They actually do have some like pretty like big name talent like Crispin Freeman, the goat. He voices Matthias.
Belmont. I have given up
Kind of
my
like for
title.
some reason the early Yakuza dub
you,
just had
old man?
like big name people like Mark
Pardon
Hamill.
me, Lord Belmont.
And then later on, they
name
like
is
their people are
Ronaldo
interviewing Mark Hamill's like, what was it like working on Yakuza?
You can call
It's like, what
me
the fuck are you
Leon,
talking about?
And I will call you Ronaldo. Don't call me Lord. We're equals now.
Great.
As you wish.
So do you think? Okay,
No.
usually when
Please follow me to my
a
cottage.
Japanese
I
like
want to
storyteller
talk to you.
is writing about like these ancient.
Oh, we're in
English
person,
stuff-
by the way. We probably should have mentioned
Yeah,
it.
it's raining outside, or it's It said it was showering. Doesn't sound like it anymore.
Wait here a moment.
But
There's something I want to give you.
Ronaldo, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Why are you
it-
living
do
in
you
a
think-
place like this?
do you think Japanese people think this is how we
I
dressed
have
back then?
unfinished business with Walter Bernhard.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, have you ever seen like any American character in every single like Japanese medium? They're always like
Well, I
blonde
wouldn't
hair,
ask
blue
anyone.
eyes,
You're
fucking
not in
the Yankee, or like like in fighting
Street
games where they
Fighter.
have like the foom.
It seems eternal life is
The
extremely
giant,
boring.
what was his name? Paul.
He
Paul from
enjoys playing
Tekken
at
and
cat and mouse with the hunters that come
Oh,
here.
the Street Fighter Guile from
Guile.
Street
Of course,
Fighter.
there's no way that he
Just
could
have
ever
a
lose.
really
He
tall
thinks
flat
that,
top,
my helping
and they
hunters
always
makes
wear
the
an
game
American
more
flag on.
Fun.
I see.
I like his look though.
But what do you mean?
I
by there
love.
being
Okay,
no
I was.
way
I
he
don't
could
think I've ever like
lose?
talked about it on the show. I love
Vampires are
Castlevania.
loved by
Like
the night.
like the old school style like
His
platformer
forest is
Castlevanias are
lost
some of my
in
favorite games of all
eternal
time.
darkness.
And in fact, yesterday, my girlfriend came over and we're playing Castlevania 2
Well, that
together
may be so, but I must go ahead and
because it's the only 2D Castlevania that I've never
Did
beaten.
he-
Simon Quest,
Simon's
Take
Quest.
someone
the one where every
Yes,
2 seconds
he
the
abducted my betrothed.
day night cycle
How did you know that?
changes.
Like, bro,
what
I
he
had to
always
spend like
does when he
I think I
starts
spent
the game.
38 minutes total before
You
even.
came unarmed.
He's talked about the game.
Your
Is this
courage astonishes me.
a wall break? A fourth wall break?
Oh no! He's talking about
Just
the
not my
vampire.
sword.
I forgot his name. They probably said it
comes
already.
to the company.
He's talking about the
I looked at
vampire
the line
lord.
when I
He
gave up
thinks
my title.
people coming to challenge him is a game.
Honest to a fault.
I heard that many hunters have met their end here. If that's the case, getting weapons
Why
shouldn't
do-
be hard.
Why do
Take
These-
this with you.
even
It'll help
in
you
American
against
cartoons?
monsters.
Why do they give it these really wacky hairstyles that aren't achievable?
What is this?
Like this, like
A
I
whip
guess it
made
could be
with
achieved with a
alchemy.
lot of hairspray.
It's stronger
What,
than
like
any
Leon's?
dead man's
Yeah.
disguise.
Well, that's how my hair can look sometimes.
Spiking out.
Yeah, I get wings in my hair when I do it.
Word.
It depends on how you. It
That's
depends on how you
always,
comb it.
though.
It
depends on how you comb it.
With the principles of
Like the
God's
back doesn't
creation
flow
of
up
the
like that for
world.
mine.
I mean, look at Gon though.
The only person who truly
Hunter x
understands it is Matthias.
Not the dinosaur Gon.
You know
There's a
Lord
whole manga
Cronquist?
called Gon.
Lord
I've known
Kronkvist.
him longer than you
There's a
have.
whole manga called Gon.
His family has
It's
a
just
book of secret
there's no
arts,
like
originally
dialogue.
handed down
It's just
orally.
a fucking weird ass
Secret
looking
arts.
dinosaur in this world of just
I never knew.
regular looking dinosaurs, and it's
course
really
not.
well drawn.
Only a handful
I haven't
of
read it,
people
though.
in this world know about it. There are some who consider alchemy to be heresy.
I mean, I guess.
I see.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Are you
I
one of
think,
them?
like, I don't know. I think that
No.
I would assume that just based off the
You're an acquaintance
dialogue,
of
just like from what I
Matthias?
know, it sounds
You are
like
trustworthy.
it sounds like they
use this
recorded
with
these not only like
Attitude.
it kind of sounds like these were recorded in a different studio, but mostly it just sounds like they were recorded like without
Put your
giving
left hand
context.
up.
Kind of like how the old Sonic
left
games
hand.
used to be dubbed.
Like this?
Because it's very kind of stilted acting.
Don't move now.
Like my boy Michael is doing a great job right here, but like Leon's voice actor isn't bad, but he's kind of
What's he
like,
doing to us?
I believe he's bestowing us like alchemy.
Finally. Smiling at it.
You are now homosexual.
Yes!
Let's fucking go!
Fuck the dead wife.
What was that?
The gauntlet is enchanted.
Why do I
now.
sound? Why does it on
spell.
Audacity? It looks like I'm
Some
so quiet.
enemies' attacks
I don't
release a
know.
special
I'm like
power.
I'm talking into the
If you
mic. It's
block
not.
them with
It's
the
not that I'm
gauntlet,
not.
You can gather that power.
What can I do with the gathered
Dynamics
power?
processing gonna come in clutch,
You'll be
as it
able to
always
use
does.
It
magical
didn't really work
relics
too well for
by
Among Us.
releasing that power.
I had to fuck with it a
Magical
little bit.
relics.
Right. Those
That
who
line
excel
was
in
not
magic
delivered at
can
the
use
same
them.
time.
I'll cast the spell so that you can use them as well. I have some. You should be able to
My
obtain
boy.
them in the castle as well.
So for these, do they just do the voice acting way
understand.
before the, like, any of the
Right
cutscenes are
now,
even like not
This is
finished,
all
but
I can
like
do for you.
the pre-cutscenes are done.
Well, they get to see the cutscenes, I think.
Ronaldo.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just don't show them. Like the Sonic,
Wait a
like
minute.
Sonic dub is
I
infamous
forgot
for
to
that. They
tell you
didn't show like the voice actors the
door
cutscenes,
leading to his
so they were just
throne is
voicing at random. That's why like some of the lines would be like,
So I will
oh,
need to
like some lines would be like,
defeat them first.
oh no, and those would be like,
That's right.
oh no,
That's
because like they didn't
essentially the
just
test you
they
must
didn't
pass
have
to
like
fight
they
him.
didn't explain anything to them.
What a bothersome.
I told you before. To him, this is a game.
I realize that, but
If you have troubles, come back here
Like
anytime.
Leon's audio sounds really warped compared to
I'll keep potions on hand.
Ronaldo's.
thank you. I appreciate
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they mixed it right.
It sounds like it was recorded in a different room. And now I'm in the game.
Hey,
So to give some like a little bit of light context for all of this, so this game, Castlevania Lament of Innocence, is chronologically the first ever Castlevania game.
the
And
very first Castlevania game. Then they went back and made the NES game.
actually in Japan, this game is just called Castlevania. Like it's not called Castlevania Lament of Innocence, it's just called Castlevania.
But the first game's also called Castlevania. Right?
Oh, there's like 5
Or-
different games that are just called Castlevania in Japan.
Oh, wonderful. Are they like?
And then
They're
I
all
think
in-
I
they're
think
all
they're
in the
all different.
timeline,
I
right?
think they're all different games, and yes, they're all on the same timeline.
Okay, good job. Why did they do that? Why does this?
I like
happen?
Leon's strut right here with his little butt. It's badass.
Like America's too obsessed with putting numbers to titles. Japan just doesn't put numbers in titles enough. You know?
There are two different games named Castlevania 2. The subtitle is different for each. One of them is Belmont's Revenge, and the other is Simon's Quest. But
I'm coming to save you.
What's the difference?
one is for Game Boy Color and is a completely different story. It's the sequel to Castlevania. It's the sequel to Castlevania: The Adventure.
Is that like just called Castlevania in Japan?
No, I believe it's called Castlevania: The Adventure. But in Japan,
Why not call it Castlevania The Adventure too?
Prelude to the Darkness, the Dark Abyss.
Hey.
So
Can you find chicken and walls in this?
I don't know. I hope so. That is such a stupid trope, isn't it?
Why is the chicken in the wall?
So
One of the weirdest things about Castlevania is that the hearts are your ammo.
it changes per game too. Like in Simon's Quest, they're your money.
Money. Why do? It's crazy how Castlevania 2 and Link, The Adventure of Link, all like they're both the second one, and they both have a weird feel against compared to the other games.
A seal
in the
formed by
series.
5 monsters has been set here. I mean, that's like a lot of NES sequels though, like Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, Mario 2, Star Tropics 2. So a bit of a preface here. I have played most Castlevania games. There are two of the 3D games that I have not played. That is both of them that are on PS2. This one and Castlevania Curse of Darkness. I've not played either.
Why you didn't play them? It's not that they're bad. It's just it feels like it'd be really hard to keep up with this series.
Yeah, we're playing on a PS2.
We only have 8 megabytes of storage, Lucas. We got to be careful with our saves.
Yeah.
It does feel like whenever you do like play through an entire series like this, it does feel rewarding.
Oh, for sure.
Compared to like the games that like the series that always like reboot themselves over and over.
So I looked this up because, again, like I said, this is the only Castlevania game that, like 3D Castlevania rather, that and Curse of Darkness are like the ones that I've never completed. And Curse of Darkness is considered a little more favorably, but the consensus that I got from people about this game was kind of just like, it's all right.
I could definitely like. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm getting heavy Persona vibes from them. No, but I'm getting like. It feels like the way the camera moves and all that. Well, I mean.
Oh yeah, it
feels like Devil May Cry 1. Devil May Cry 1 has more like.
I've never played it.
Camera?
I've never played. Oh yeah, this camera's fixed. The Devil May Cry is
Devil May Cry 1 is also like Resident Evil fixed, but it's more dynamic than Resident Evil. Like it follows you around, whereas Resident Evil will just like kind of just stay fixed, and moving around a corner, the camera would have to move.
So obviously, as you saw by the other thing, I have played this a little bit, just to test it out. And I didn't get very far, but yeah. So we're just gonna fucking enjoy ourselves playing this shit.
This is Konami, right?
Yeah, Konami is all the Castlevania shit. Oop.
Have they outsourced it to any other company?
Was
that for the Lords of Shadow games?
Oh yeah, Lords of Shadow. It was outsourced to Kojima.
Kojima. Kojima. Kojima. Why does that sound so weird to me? Kojima.
Hideo. You want to use his government?
Kojima. Have you ever like said a word too much in your like mind that like said it a lot in your mind in like a short amount of time that your brain becomes desensitized to it?
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't feel like a real word?
All the time.
I like sometimes it happens where I'll look at like it's not even me like saying the word over and over. It's like why does it sound weird? Sometimes I'll look at a word too much, and like it just doesn't look like it's spelled right to me. Sometimes depends on the word, obviously. Like if it's like it, I'm not gonna fucking look at it. And like, that doesn't look right. Get his ass.
That's pretty good music.
Hey, we got combo meter. So do the other PS2 games, do they use the same engine as this game?
I don't know. Like I said, I've never played Curse of Darkness. And I think a sort of like issue that came up is Castlevania's entrance into 3D was, let's say, not very well received. The first ever 3D Castlevania game was 64, and oh boy, oh gosh.
Seemed like Mario just like fucking easily just went to 3D and nobody like really batted an eye.
Well, that's because Mario's just Mario. Like
he can just fucking do whatever.
I mean, pretty much. Like that man's a doctor. He has a PhD here.
It's not like Mario hasn't like gone off to different genres. I guess we'll talk about that next time on Listen Up.
Fuck.